Good evening. Good evening. All right, I got it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Well, I want to thank Lauren and Kathy very much for the nominations. I really appreciate it. And I'm very pleased to be here with my wife Marissa, my daughter Ella, my son Walker, who are back there. And it's wonderful to see so many friends and supporters here in the room. The Democratic Party is based on a simple idea. That government has one job. And that's to look out for the people, to protect them, and to fight for them. These are the values I fought for my whole life. At its heart, this race is about core democratic values and two very different approaches to politics and governance. I have a very different philosophy than the current governor. When the current governor cut Medicaid, that hurt people. When he cut funding to hospitals and nursing homes and providers, people lose their care. That's a violation of the core values of the Democratic Party. When the federal government and the state inspector general warned the governor not to launch the UHIP system, and she did, that left thousands of people, tens of thousands, without health care and hungry. We know the extraordinary numbers of people who have been affected by this disaster. But behind the numbers are real people, each with their own story. How many of us know what it's like to be hungry because you can't get your food assistance? So hungry that you can't sleep, that your head hurts, that you can't think. I recently met a man who has cancer and lost his health care for 12 months because of the UHIP fiasco. This is a violation of the core values of the Democratic Party. When the current governor failed to appoint a director to DCYF for 2 years and said that the agency didn't need a social worker to run it, but someone who knew how to cut costs. We all know well, too well, the tragic results. In 2016 and 2017 alone, 28 children in state care died. 2 young women in state care were sex trafficked. These are children the government was supposed to protect. This is a violation of the core values of the Democratic Party. When the possibility of Boston-based Partners Healthcare buying Care New England became public a few months ago, Governor Raimondo said she shouldn't say anything about it because she'd have to regulate it. That's true. It's the governor and the Department of Health that will be responsible for reviewing the deal, determining whether it's in the best interest of the public, and either approving or rejecting it. This would be the biggest healthcare acquisition in the history of the state. There are a lot of serious questions about this deal. Will our healthcare system lose jobs to Boston? Will we have to drive to Boston to get healthcare services of various kinds? Will we lose control of our local healthcare system? The governor was right a few months ago to say that she must stay at arm's length from the deal. Fast forward to a week ago Friday morning, when Governor Raimondo went to Boston for a campaign fundraising breakfast, where she collected $200,000 for her campaign coffers. That fundraiser was hosted by Partners Healthcare. Does anyone really believe that Governor Raimondo can assess this deal fairly and look out for the interests of the public when she just pocketed $200,000 from a fundraiser hosted by Partners? Governor Raimondo should give that money back. The pay-to-play fundraising threatens the functioning of our government, is a corruption of democracy itself, and is a violation of the core values of the Democratic Party. I will take no money from corporate PACs or lobbyists, and no money involved in the fossil fuel industry at all. I have spent my life working to make the world a better place for us and for our children. From when I led City Year here in Rhode Island 25 years ago, where we get young people with diverse backgrounds to do a year of full-time service, tutoring and mentoring children in the schools, lifting up communities, to serving as your Secretary of State, where I fought to expose corporate lobbying and make sure the government worked for the people, to co-founding and leading Global Zero, which works for peace and reducing nuclear arms worldwide, and was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. I'm running for governor to look out for the people, to serve them, to protect them, to fight for them. I'm running for governor to restore Medicaid funding and push toward Medicare for all, to get a $15 an hour minimum wage, and restore annual COLAs for state retirees, to end the extreme tax breaks for the corporations and the wealthiest, and fund our schools, to build an economy based not on handouts to hand-picked corporations, but on clean energy, healthcare, and small business. I'm running for governor to block the frack gas plant the current governor has pushed for and make Rhode Island the first fully clean energy state in the country. I'm running to bring the core values of the Democratic Party to the office of governor. Now, I've been around a while, and I understand that an incumbent governor gets the state's committee's endorsement. I'm not here to contest that. Mr. Chairman, I formally withdraw my nomination from consideration. But while I am not here to seek the endorsement of the committee, I am here to ask each and every one of you for your support as leaders in your community, as leaders of our state, and as voters in September. I ask you to join me in our campaign to bring democratic values back to the office of governor, and to work together to build our party and the future of our party based on those timeless values. And when we win in September, I look forward to working with all of you to join me in the critical battle to beat the Republicans in November. Thank you.